How are you doing today, Fabricio?
Fine. How are you, Danny? Sorry, how are you, everyone?
So
Uh,
let's welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to a live session with Awana. I am Daniela, your host for today's AMA about building a career as an AI developer. In case you're not familiar with Awana, you must know we believe in Latin America. We believe Latin talent has the power to unlock any company's potential. We're technical recruiters matching US companies with the right talent from Ecuador, Brazil, Colombia, Peru, and anywhere in Latin America. I have a special guest today. He's Fabricio. He's an experienced software architect and machine learning enthusiast with over 20 years of experience. So let's get this AMA started. And before we continue and I lead the way to Fabricio, please share your questions whenever you have one. We have our producer ready to read them and share them with Fabricio. So just drop them below in the chat. So, Fabricio, if you want, you can give a brief introduction about yourself and then let's start talking about the AI potential in Latin America.
Thanks a lot, Danny. So, as Danila said, I've been working professionally in the software industry like for more than 20 years now. Um, my my involvement with AI started very naturally. I was leading a software architect team back then, and we started getting more and more involved in data intensive and AI projects. And I had to be humble and admit that I didn't know enough back then to be efficient leading my team. So I had to learn a lot from my team, and I started discovering that AI and machine learning in particular was like the sweet spot where a domain where all my passions converged. A little bit of math, a little bit of data engineering, a little bit of software development, and everything mixed beautifully with mathematic perfection and all of that. So the more I learned, the more I discovered I really loved the artificial intelligence. So I'm really thrilled to be here today and to discuss this exciting and brave new world of AI, in particular in Latin America. Our region right now is on the cusp of an AI revolution. There are lots of opportunities blooming everywhere. Spring is starting soon, and I think the opportunities are blooming like flowers in springtime. Um, Brazil's agricultural technology sector is leveraging AI to optimize crop. Colombia is using a lot of AI in healthcare right now to produce early disease detection. Mexico is implementing smart cities. So key industries like finance, agricultural tech, healthcare are leveraging AI. So there are a lot of opportunities today. I think Latin America will be in the forefront of the AI wave soon.
That's amazing. And what happened to countries like Ecuador, Argentina? Like, what we should be thinking, about getting started with AI?
Well, that's something that will depend a lot on the individual, right? So for anyone wondering if they have the right tools or they are well equipped to jump into I will tell to them that is like any other computer science domain, right? You need to understand what it's about, right? Understand what are your current skills and what you like about AI. There are different fields within AI. So based on your personal preference, your personal skills, and what you want to achieve, that will give you like the path that you need to follow to start unlocking new skills. There are different roles in AI, right? There are many, and it kind of reminds me to 2005, where cloud computing was kind of new back then. So there were a lot of opportunities, roles, but they don't even have names. Like right now, you see that with, I don't know, prompt engineering, right? Machine learning specialist, machine learning operation specialist. We are still finding out what is it about, right? But in very broad terms, we can talk about what is an AI or ML consultant. These are like the conductors, right? Like the orchestra director. They need to have an eye put in the business, right? What are the business problems, and seeing them through their technical lenses. So they need a broad understanding of AI technologies, right? What is available, what is it for, and how it serves a particular business problem. And also very good communication skills, because they are like the bridge between the technical team, right, and the business or product team. There are also all the NLP specialists, natural language processing. These are like the linguists of the AI world. They need a mix of computational skills, linguistics, programming skills, and a very deep understanding of the human language nuances and all of that. All the explosion of large language models and all of that uncovers the big potential of linguistics for business. Then there is a few other like more hardcore roles, like data scientists. Data scientists care about algorithms. I like to think of them like alchemists. They are the ones that who turn data into gold, right? AI is all about data. Your raw material is data. So data scientists are the ones that understand how to grab that raw material and turn it into valuable insights. So they care a lot about statistics. They need to know a lot of mathematics, programming skills as well, like understanding all the subtleties of the algorithms and how to optimize them. But also they need to have specific domain knowledge about the particular business problem that they are trying to solve. Then there is a new field, also not so new, but it's starting to get more and more attention, which is the AI ethics specialist. As AI becomes more prevalent, there are concerns, and there is the need to ensure that our ethical our ethical principles are embedded into an AI system. AI sometimes is like autonomous, right? So whatever they do on their own, they need to do it according to our ethical and moral principles. And also, not less important, all the AI UX specialists, right? AI kind of offers new challenges for UX. So there are people that are specialized in this, in how AI solves these problems. So these are kind of broad strokes, the more important roles that a person jumping into AI could find.
Yeah, totally understand. And we've seen, these job postings about companies looking for AI specialists or AI engineers. And what does that mean specifically?
Well, you need to like read between the lines, right? You need to actually pay a lot of attention on the skills that they are requiring, not so much the name of the role, right? But what are the skills? Uh, I've been told by a lot of colleagues that they accepted one of these AI developer roles, and they were actually full stack developers, right? Working on an AI company or a company that uses AI to solve a particular problem, but their work was maybe developing an API that in one of the endpoints produced inference, right, with a machine learning model. But the work actually was a full stack developer job, while maybe other roles are more clear that are actually about machine learning, right? So you really need to see what are the skills required for the job, and if unclear, ask the company, okay, what do I need, what are the skills needed for me to fulfill this role, and you will have more clarity about the extent of the AI in the AI role, right?
Yes, exactly. So it's very important, as you said, to have a deep understanding on what does it mean to be an AI developer. So let's talk specifically about that. So at Awana, we've recently launched our AI Skills Accelerator, and we've been receiving a lot of questions regarding getting started with, like
Mhm.
launching an AI career. So could you suggest a practical guide or something that could be very useful for developers? First, that want to get started, and second, to those that are already within a specific branch of AI but don't know how to get ahead of it.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Excellent question, by the way. So creating your own roadmap on AI requires you to understand first what is your starting point, right? What skills do you already have? From a computer scientist or developer point, you need to understand a lot of Python. Python is like the lingua franca of AI, right? So a good understanding of Python is crucial. If you don't have it, maybe you are coming from a different language like JavaScript. Python is a very friendly language. It doesn't require much to get started with it. So that's definitely a good point to get started. Then uh, try to understand what excites you about AI. Right? You have natural language processing, statistic information, like more hardcore data scientist kind of tasks. All the data engineering, preparing to the data to train the model, right? Machine learning operations, like the DevOps side of machine learning, what kind of infrastructure you need to run these models to train them? How do you get good observability of the model to understand if they are doing well or not? Then, based on your starting point and what excites you about AI, try to skill up from there, like build the particular skills step by step and there are plenty of resources. The Awana AI Accelerator, the Awana AI Skills Accelerator program is a perfect starting point because you will get all the expertise from an expert to understand what are the skills that you need to train. But the internet is full of resources that will help you to get these skills. Then, very important, once you start building those skills, build a portfolio, right? If you do a small project to try to make that skill be solid and try your new skills in the real world, make sure you leave proof of that work, right? Start building that portfolio. GitHub is your stage, so go up to your stage and perform often. uh, Join do networking, join AI and machine learning communities. There are plenty of LinkedIn at LinkedIn. There are local meetups. Participate on hackathons. There are a lot of non-profit organizations that require machine learning work, and they are open to give the opportunity to a newcomer, right? So participate, take advantage of those opportunities, participate in these hackathons and these events, be really involved, leave proof of these participations on your portfolio, and most importantly, stay updated. AI is exploding right now, right? There are lots of papers every week, so be updated, learn whatever comes to you and resonates with you. Try to understand the paper, try to, if you can, try to do a little practical exercise on whatever comes your way. That's a perfect way of getting started with AI.
So, just as a quick summary, it would be first, be very proficient in Python. So, get your Python skills leveled up. Then, as a step two, know what you're passionate about. So, if it's either statistics or anything else related within AI, you have to definitely go with that path. I want to add there that whatever you do in life, make sure you're passionate about it, definitely. Then the third step would be build a portfolio. And we've seen this from the recruitment point of view. If you don't have a portfolio, it's very hard to sell yourself. And finally, but not very less important, build your network. And again, this is for everything in life, whether you're looking for a job, you're starting a new career, have your network help yourself get you where you want. So it's like work for the work you want, work for the life you want, and work for the relationships that will also help you get there. Okay, so I do want to ask a question I received. It's from a developer. It's she's interested in getting within AI, and she knows about machine learning, but she's struggling after taking a course how to get started with a project, like moving from theory to practice. How do you bridge that gap?
Definitely, and this is, she's not alone. We all have struggled with the same at some point in our careers. AI, machine learning, because of its mathematical and algorithmic roots, can get very theoretical, right, and very academic. How do I get to the real world based on this, right? So there are a few places where she can go and get like real world challenges. Kaggle.com is a community. They have regularly, they launch AI competitions, right? So a company, an institution, maybe they have a problem, they put the problem and the data out there, they put a deadline, and you can try yourself. If you win, if you build like the top solution for the problem, they even sometimes pay you real money with that. With this said, like there are really top performers at Kaggle, right? But if you don't make it, it's still a very good exercise to get real world data, see how is it like to solve a real world problem with AI, and also all the past submissions are there available, so the data is still there, right? So even if you didn't make it for the deadline, you can do a late submission.
I'm sorry,
uh,
Fabricio, is it Kaggle?
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Kaggle, they not only offer this community where you can get the competitions, talk to other AI practitioners and all of that, but they also offer all sorts of AI tools for the AI developer. Thanks for putting this in the chat. Beautiful.
Sure, it happens to me all the time, especially with a company called Awana. It's like, how do you spell it?
So Kaggle is a perfect place. And as I said, there are plenty of communities on LinkedIn where she can express their concern, their challenges, right? Like I'm really struggling. How do I make a real world project based on my theoretical knowledge? And there will be a lot of volunteers there to give her advice, to kind of provide her with resources. But Kaggle is gold, right? A lot of real world data available there, which is what an AI expert needs, right? If you're working with AI, probably she already knows the algorithms, the tools. What is missing is the AI, the real data, and the problem that they are trying to solve with AI, right? And
And
that's
is
all available at Kaggle.
and is there a specific reason why you are suggesting focusing on real world problems and not just like a conceptual one?
Right, of course, because um, AI or machine learning in particular, right? But in general, AI is like a different programming paradigm. In the standard computer programming paradigm, you turn decisions, algorithms into data, right? With AI, it's the other way around. You grab data and use data to build decisions, right? You teach a machine to take decisions based on examples, based on data. So the quality of the data that you use will make all the difference, right? And the problem sometimes when you are getting started is, okay, I don't have the data. How do I get real data? And what I stress real because it makes all the difference, right? These are like the data sets of companies, of institutions. They make it available to AI developers, and you will need to deal with cleaning the data, making sure it's ready to be processed and used by a machine learning algorithm. And that's a huge part of what a machine learning practitioner needs to learn to be able to perform in the real world.
Yeah. Got it. And maybe it's also useful to try it out with a real problem because you could also find and show your results, like the impact you contributed to.
Definitely. And you will, I mean, the theory will take you to a certain point, right? A certain performance with your solution, but it won't be, most likely it won't be enough to actually solve the problem, right? So the missing part is your ability as an AI practitioner. Like, okay, what am I missing, right? Is the data all right? It is. So maybe it's the model architecture that is wrong, and you need to try all these different routes, document your results. It's a very methodical but time consuming process, and that exercise is what makes all the difference between one regular practitioner and an excellent practitioner. It is the detail that and the creativity to bridge that gap between whatever you get by default with machine learning algorithm or a particular architecture and a top performing model.
Um, are there any questions that you've got so far, like on your end, since you are an AI expert and mentor?
Yeah, there is one question that comes to me over and over, and is I don't know, I'm a backend engineer, right? I'm a front end engineer, and I really want to go to AI. Is really that different? How long will it take me to actually be able to fulfill one of these roles and work on AI? How do I get from there, right? I have my eyes put on AI engineering, but I'm still just a backend engineer. what I will say to what I always say to these people that I really understand, because I asked that question to myself a lot of times. How do I get there? First, you already have the most important skill that sometimes is missing from machine learning engineers, which is the ability to produce real solutions. As I said, machine learning is kind of theoretical by nature, very academic, right? So one challenge of many machine learning teams is to actually fulfill the business problem that they are tasked to solve, right? They kind of get not, I don't want to say distracted, but they pay a lot of attention maybe to reaching that 2% of performance, right? On the model, and maybe between a model that is performing at 96% and 98% is not that different for the business. So software engineers, regular software engineers, already know that, right? They deal with business people or product people all the time, and they know that they need to fulfill the business problem. And they know how to produce real world, build real world solutions, make their work very tangible to the stakeholders. They already have that, and it's a key ingredient. So how to bridge what is missing? Just get involved with AI, learn an AI framework or library, right? Learn TensorFlow or FastAI or PyTorch. Start doing real solutions, small models to solve for a particular problem. Start trying to automate a particular problem from your real life. For example, one of the first things that I did for myself, I started measuring my satisfaction with my morning workout with a number scale, right? So if I really felt great, I put a 10. If it was totally wrong and I didn't feel right, a 1, right? A 1 to 10. And I started adding to that the temperature, what I had eaten the day before, and all of that. And I produced a small model that helped me predict what was the best time for me to go out in the morning. And maybe it was self-fulfilling prophecy or not, but I really started feeling great while working out. So try to do that tiny solution, tiny model for your problem or for the problem of a neighbor, a relative, a workmate, right? Try to build real things, and you will start getting the hang of it, right?
So start small before jumping into big complex projects.
Indeed, the path to Rome starts with a single step, right?
Exactly. And before you get out for a run, make sure you know how to walk. Okay, this has been amazing. Before we wrap this up, let's focus on one statement you mentioned, that how much time do I need to invest to get there? You mentioned that. So
Yeah,
let's be realistic. Let's consider we do have a 9 to 5 job. We do have a personal life we want to go to after working. So if I want to do this for real as a developer, what should I need to do? How much time should I need to invest? And overall, what's like the maybe the framework there that would work for me?
definitely. Well, that's again very personal. But here it goes with one of the first recommendation that I was giving, identifying what makes you passionate about AI, right? That will give you the fuel that you need to actually keep going, keep going. Try to find a time every day. I will say do it every day, at least 15 minutes, 30 minutes, right? But do it every day. That you read something, you try something, right? For me, it works great before my day, right? I wake up very, very early in the morning and I study a little bit. And I was doing that before I got into AI, right? So I already had like the routine, the habit of studying early in my morning. Sometimes I really don't have much energy, right? But I just do 15 minutes, right? I will sit here, I will learn this tiny thing, 15 minutes. Tomorrow, other 15 minutes. And when you start putting together all these chunks of very small time, like droplets falling, right? A droplet can crack a big rock, right? So I will say, use your passion on AI as a fuel, right? To give you the energy that you need to put those 15 minutes. You will find out that over time, it's not an effort, it's not a burden. It's something that you already want to do, right? Like brushing your teeth. When we are kids, we usually don't like brushing our teeth. But when you make it a habit, you cannot go to bed without doing it, right? This is the same thing. So I will start small, right? Humble, realistic, taking into consideration that many people have like family commitments, the 9 to 5, doing workout to keep our bodies healthy and all of that. But 15 minutes is not much. When you put 15 minutes, 5 days a week, it's more than an hour, right? It's almost 2 hours of mental exercise. If you can put more, 1 or 2 hours per day, you will make progress much more rapidly. If you cannot do it every day, well, save a couple of hours during the weekend. But I think the daily routine makes a lot of difference. So I will advise to the people to put some time aside on their day, find the right time. For many people is at the beginning of the day. For others is at the end during the night, right? Find your time, maybe on the lunch break, right? While you're working, go to some silent place and start reading or practicing your AI skills. But put a little bit of time every day, and that's the takeaway. I'd say try to put as much as you can, as often. Start small, and you will build up from there.
Yeah, that's totally true. It's about building a habit, it's about consistency, it's about patience because you won't see results happening all of a sudden. And it and at the end it's like the same thing that happens to entrepreneurs and to athletes. It's like you should focus on the progress, forget about the results, because then you would get very anxious about just like reaching like that milestone. But the end, if you focus on showing up for yourself every day, that is what actually gets you closer to the goal.
And I will quote my painting teacher. He used to say that you need to learn to love the moments that do not shine, right? The dark moments where you don't know why you are getting this weird error on these Jupyter notebooks and you have no idea. That's where magic is happening. Like, of course, you want to have it solved and working, right? But the path to that stage of perfection or fulfillment of what you're doing is going through the mistakes, going through the errors, going through the moments that do not shine. So those dark moments are the foundation for success. So be patient with yourself. I'd say, loving with yourself, right? Learn to love those moments. They are not really enjoyable by themselves, but they are the path to achievement. So
That's so true, and a beautiful quote you just shared there. So in the name of Awana, Fabricio, and myself, I thank everyone for joining. If you didn't make it on our live session, drop your questions. We're still going to be able to answer them. We're very community driven, and there's nothing us like stopping us from helping you or supporting you in any way we can. So if you want, you can just drop your questions, or you can also reach us out to letsgrow@awana.io, and we'll be happy to answer any related questions with AI, getting hired, getting your profile out there, and whatever. So you have a new network here, Fabricio. Be sure to follow him on LinkedIn, and everything's up like on you. Just show up for yourself every day. Bye, all.